Formlab, the form tables. Form tables is one of the basic elements of any football reading. Obviously, if you're backing the top team or the team leader, the odds are always going to be shorter. But what Formlab allows you to do is see a league table from different angles. Now, this is a user guide, so you'll be mostly familiar with a lot of these headings. If you're never sure what a heading is, just hover your mouse over it and it'll show you what that particular heading is. So goals for is GF, PPG is points per game. There's not been many games so far this season, so there's not much we can read into it. But over the last 20 games, we can see how things have gone. You can see points per game in the last 20 games. It's 1.95 for Man City, so that extends back into last season. Actually, Liverpool have done fairly well there as well. Let's see Man City at home in the last 20 games. Again, fairly good. 2.3 points per game at home. And you can compare how Man City have performed at home against top 6, bottom half, middle third, bottom half, promoted, bottom 6 types. You can also examine the profitability of backing Man City blindly when they're at home, in this case. So actually, backing them all of their games has produced a small profit in the last 20 games. And again, hover over the heading to see what the heading is. So when odds on, this made a small profit, and when odds against, this made a small profit. And this tells you whether they're the favourite, whether they're not favourite, and what the backing a draw has done, and then how you would perform backing opposition. Let's have a look at the double result. So we can see here that actually Man City, not only have they won quite often in the last few games, that they're very high up when they're at home. Let's look at all the games. All the games. So not just when they're at home, but Man City are actually the top ranked side for win-win doubles. That means they win at half time and at full time. So in just less than half the games, in the last 20 games, they've done the double result. We can also have a look at handicaps. Again, if you're not sure, so W1G means they've won by 1 goal, 6 out of the last 20 times, and won by 2 or more goals, 5 out of the last 20 times. So we can see again, you can probably see in the first few games of the season that they've scored freely, and so they're quite likely to win by some margin, but also they're quite likely to win in the first half and the second half. So if we want to go to an odds comparison website, we can look at the dominant handicap here is currently the -2 handicap, which means if we were to back a Man City here, straight win, 1.2 odds, not particularly that attractive. But if you wanted to bet on them to win by more than 2 clear goals, -2 means that you get your money back if they win by 2 goals. If they win by more than 3 goals, then you win the bet. So effectively, you're looking for a healthy margin of victory at 1.93. Given the stats and the fact that they're one of the leading sides from this angle, it's not a bad proposition there. Half time, full time. Let's have a look at Manchester City. We can see that is kind of priced in already, the 1.62. So of those two, you might want to look at the -2 handicap for them to overcome this. But if you're happy with the slightly lower odds here of the Manchester City, 1.62 might be your best option. So this has been a brief guide to the form tables and how to use it from any angle you want to. Remember, if you're not sure what particular heading is, just hover your mouse over it to see what the angle comes up at. And then you can look at when they're playing, just focus on the home side, here at Man City, discipline, or the away side, Wigan.